the importance of the economic impact of women leaders and entrepreneurs. So obviously this relates very particularly in this case to the tourism sector, and so it's my very great honor to invite to the stage our moderator, Julia Stark, who is the president of the European Women Association. Thank you. And Valerie Levine, founder and chief executive officer for Eco Green Resources Limited. Thank you very much. We also are welcoming online, we were going to welcome online Swati Mandela. Unfortunately, she's not able to join us because we are a little bit late with our schedule. But I have absolutely no doubt that we're going to have a very spirited conversation between these two lovely ladies. Okay? Thank you.
No? Oh yeah, well,
there
now
you go.
It is. By the way, thank you so much for coming back, guys. And I was actually quite inspired by the topics discussed this morning about the tourism and the larger sector of it. And what I also heard is quite interesting that 80% of the sector is actually dominated by women. So it is an important topic to discuss today. And I'm quite happy to see some women in the room today as well. And let's not only focus on the social aspect of it. Probably you know, SDG goals. We all know about them. There are like 17 of them. Did you know that 8 of them would be actually supported if you would support more female leaders globally? On the other hand, it's not, as I said, a social aspect of it. It's also economical. Think about the money behind that empowerment. McKinsey did I think 5 of them researches on female leadership globally and the economical impact of it. And just share some numbers. If women would participate in the economy in the same basis as men do, we will add actually 30 trillion or another 12% of the global GDP by 2030. Not bad. On average, companies with more diverse leadership teams actually report 20% more revenue from innovations. Startups led by women are actually quite more resilient, and look at actually the tourism sector, which often is led by women and SMEs. On the other hand, we've also seen that women tend to invest twice as much in other female founders, and 3 times as much if the woman is a CEO of the company, of a startup. And the last, maybe you've heard that, from the World Economic Forum, if women earn money, 90% of that money goes actually back to the community, supporting next generation education and kids. So on my end, as the president of the European Women Association, it's a no-brainer to focus more on female leadership in business, as in the last decade, we've been working with venture capitalists and business angels to attract funding to female entrepreneurs. One of our speakers was actually Swati Mandela. I didn't have to present her as the name says itself. I'm sure we'll have new opportunities to speak with her later. But another very bright lady is today here, and her name is Valerie Levine. And the reason why she's quite impressive, in my opinion, humble opinion, is because we don't know too many women who are actually that much invested as Valerie is into green energy, into innovation, and into sustainability. A bit of a background of Valerie: she joined us from London and she worked in the oil and gas industry actually for 15 years. She is a PhD in international law, but she was actually always fascinated by the renewable energy, because she knew it's not infinite, the gas and oil. So let's focus on something much more sustainable. And again, Valerie is proving that, well, women do think long-term in a sustainable way. So Valerie, my first question to you is, tell us why you actually shifted from fossil energy into the green one, and what does it actually mean, the green energy?
Thank you very much, Julia, for the question, and thank you for having me here. It's my first time on this panel because usually I'm dedicated everything in London and the United Arab Emirates where I'm living. So talking about the green energy, we know that another 30 to 50 years, oil and gas will remain. So this is the matter of the fact. My point was using the green energy only because the wind energy, water energy, meaning marine energy, and also sun is endless. So this is the resources which is we can use it always. But how we can use it and what development we've got for these resources, this is the question mark. Whatever we got now on a market, they're using for their different technology, different type of technologies. We're using a lot about green energy, sustainability, development. But if we look in it very deeply, how we use it, what development come in, this is not really green. Because, for example, the wind turbine, it's affected human health, we know that. The most of the energy during the nighttime is going down the earth. So we're losing lots of energy. What else we can create it? What else we can develop? So that's what we try to do it with my company and our team.
Well, but still quite impressive movement from fossil to green energy. You're saying, well, the wind turbines are not that green as everybody's saying.
Yeah.
You focused on marine energy. Why marine, and what's the difference with all others out there?
Thank you. Why marine? As we know, our planet is covered 71% by water, right? So 75%, 71% wasn't using really for the energy. Our development in our team was make this, it's not just it's the worldwide, been talking about it for the last 30, 40 years. We don't have really a good result for the make it energy from the water, which is going to be low cost, which is going to be the green, really green. And that's what we try to do it, and that's exactly what we did it. Because, number one, we are not using the land. That means we're safer. Number two, our technology, what we developed with the team, it's make it a different, completely different material. It's an eco material, which is we called eco cement. Make it from the 3 types of the salt. So it's not contained molecular of the water, so it's very easy. For the case, we don't need any maintenance, so it saves money. Number 3, what we've got storages for the energy. The storages for the energy is the key of our technology because we can do on the top of our technology the desalination water. This is the big influence of the market, of the economy, because we know the price of the water is connected to the price of the energy. So this is the formula. What we did it the storage, which is can endlessly hold it, all energy, which is we can use it in any time, during night, during day, and also most of the energy not using during the night, as we know. So what we do desalination. So cost, it's equally 0 for the power. Yeah.
Interesting. And again, very impressive the work that you've been doing. How long have you been diving into that field of green energy, and how do you see the evolution of it? Because I mean, it's quite maybe sensitive topic, but what's the future?
Right. In my point is first of all, I've been for the researching, for studying, and to make it my team. It was during the 6 years, apart from the 15 years I was in the oil and gas business. So we've got very, very dedicated topics to green energy, complete the energy, water, and the other resources. So what we did actually revolutionary things in quantum physics. That's exactly my topic, what we did. But it's not very interesting on this forum, I think, so it's going to be better to concentrate for the topic of the green energy. So that's exactly what we're doing. We are trying to compensate and going from the globally, from the conservative energy to the green. This is the green 100%. So, and another question you asked me?
About the future.
About the future.
Is the marine energy the future?
I think this is the 100% is the future, because we're talking about the resources, which is resources is biggest as sun as wind. It's equally. We're talking about the green, about the health, because each one energy, it's affected our health, which is we cannot find it in lots of topics, except, of course, the GATE research, which is you got lots of topics from professors, which is dedicated to these topics. So the future, I think, in my point, is the future for the developers who will create it for the three most of important points: developing new technology in this sector. This is the water, definitely. This is the water, because for the calculation of developing marine energy is the cheapest one at the moment. Yes.
So it makes sense economically as well.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, thank you so much, Valerie. I was wondering if Ida is online.
I just want to say one thing, which is connected to the tourism, because we've got two projects completely connected to tourism in China. And the island is absolutely beautiful resort. Sorry, I have to have a look because I don't remember. Is the Eco-Atlantic in China, completely based on energy which is used by water. Another one is in Caribbean, yeah.
Caribbean and China.
Yes,
So
yeah,
they're
Caribbean
leading.
and China, yeah.
All right, beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, the next speaker was Ida Beerhalter, and I wonder, is she online, Ida? Yeah. Beautiful.
I hear you, yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ida. Joining from Germany. Normally, Ida would have been here with us in person, but due to some other reasons, she couldn't join, but I'm happy technology is here and helping us out. Before we dive into your topic, Ida, just shortly introducing this amazing lady. As I said, today we've got some leaders, female leaders in the panel, and we had sustainability and energy. On the other hand, we've got Ida. She is head of co-heading the IOMI. It is a family office. She's actually the wealth manager for women principals in Saudi Arabia. She's an investor herself. She is also on different panels, and she works quite closely with AUMA, Obama, and many other boards. Please either add other things that I forgot are quite important for this topic, and then please followed by a question: is there a difference in how women invest and manage their money?
Yes, hello, and nice to meet everybody, albeit virtually. And apologies that I couldn't make it to Brussels this time, but I'm under quarantine. So it's kind of, a lot of people might experience that. So I'm not sick, but obviously I met somebody who is sick, and now I'm supposed to be at home, and I get calls at home, which is nice. I won't add anything to my bio. I'd rather answer the question because I think it's more important. So yes, women manage their money differently. They have let me say, they have another risk profile, and also what in my experience, women are also often delegate the management of their money. And the reason is not because they can't do it, that they are not smart enough, but they often overthink it, and sometimes they just don't ask the right question, which enable them really to manage their money themselves and to understand what's going on. So I think the delegation of the management of the money is more prevalent in women than in men. and that doesn't say that men do it better. Women just do it differently and delegate. So, and what we actually do, this is kind of what we do in the family office, and maybe this is a better description of what my job is. So I teach the wealth owners I'm working with to manage the money themselves. So actually my job is to make myself redundant and kind of create an environment where they feel comfortable in taking full responsibility of the management of their money. That doesn't mean they do it, but it means that they understand what's happening and decide what is happening with their money.
Interesting. So you have actually the wealth manager. On the other hand, I've seen from the scale-up industry and the startup industry that I've been working the last decade that women tend to raise less money, but when they do, they often reinvest it back in the economy. Have you seen that happening with your wealth owners as well? Do you see that trend of women investing more in other women, or that's not the case in the Saudis?
No, I think it's not just when it comes to the kingdom. It's a kind of a general trend. And first when it comes to women who are wealthy. So if you just look around and you see that not many women tend to need kind of the perks of relevance and importance be shown to everybody. So when you see at the gadgets, so the big yachts are owned not by the woman, and the big cars are not owned by the woman, and the fancy showcase houses are not. If they are owned by the woman, they are not all over the press. So this is I think a difference how wealthy women kind of use their wealth. Obviously, then there is some residual if you don't have the yacht and whatever, and they invest more responsible, and they also invest more in societies. This is definitely the trend. And when it comes to investing in women companies or women co-led companies, I think it's not just the trend within women who invest, it's a general trend, because also, male investors are not more stupid than women investors. They have realized that, you have a better outcome when you invest in, let me say, diverse team. And the first, step on diversification is that you have a certain, mix of male and female. And then when you're kind of more advanced, or if your business actually requires it, sometimes the business requires this really, that you have a look at that you then invest in more diverse teams, also in terms to other like culture and color, whatever diversity is important for your business. People have a very, very focus on that, because more and more investors understand investing is about the people. It's not so much about the company. You have to have the right people to make a lot of money. And the better the people are, the more sustainable is your business, and the better the people are, they more and better invest the money you give them in creating more value for everybody, not just for the company, but also kind of in terms of jobs and environment. So there's a lot of responsibility in this more diverse team. So diversity is, for me, sustainability. It equals actually sustainability.
Is that something you can also translate to your wealth managers? Do you teach them that? Because you said before, as an investment banker, in the past we had a conversation, you said, we focus on the results, on the money. So I wonder, does gender lens investment plays a role here? Do we have to extra push on it? Or this is something that will happen quite organically in the future?
I think this is a thing which, depending on the resistance and on the kind of public awareness on this topic, it will happen over time. And money is calling the shots. If people say that, and the data is out there, that in diverse team and good team and diverse and good teams are motivated teams, you can have less headache and more revenue. Then it's a natural flow. The only thing I think which really kind of is kind of a bit against it is that people kind of want to stick to the old things, or do not want to see different approaches. But you see it everywhere. There's a lot of transformation going on in companies where a lot of people have realized that you can't do things in a company against your people. And when it comes to the wealth owners, there is a certain movement in the wealth owners that a lot of them have realized, if you have billions and you don't invest them right, then you have at the end no earth you can live on. So what does it mean that you transfer all the money to the next generation if the next generation, doesn't have clean water? Or needs to invest maybe 50% of the whole money to have clean water, and the rest around you is kind of suffering. I think we all know that it's not fun to live in somewhere where you might live in your castle because you're rich and around you people are suffering. To most people, this would be unbearable. So, and the other thing is also the question which a lot of wealthy, especially next gens, ask themselves, so how much do I deserve? This undeserved wealth, like how much do I deserve the wealth I have inherited? And how much do I really need to have a purposeful and happy life? So, and who do I connect with? There are a lot of holistic questions out there. And I really love this with the next gen because they start also to push back to their parents, like, they don't need the perks. Actually, the most successful entrepreneurs, the most successful, let me say, financial, they don't drive a Lamborghini. This is Gaga. They drive a Prius. This is kind of, and that's also somebody said to me from Silicon Valley. I said, the hot girls don't go in the Lamborghini any longer. The hot girls are girls with a brain, and they go in the Prius. So, and this is also what drives the change. This is what drives the change, and the more women kind of look also. So, what is a sustainable relationship? It's not really. So, is the candidate the guy who kind of hangs on?
Oh, I loved what you were saying. Exactly. Oh, I hope it will be back in a moment. She's a quite interesting lady. We've been traveling together for a while, and I've seen her German approach to investment. It's just like mind-blowing. It's very down to earth, not easily to impress, and she has a very diverse portfolio, so I hope she'll be back in a second, so I can ask about investing in, I know they invested a lot of money in hotel industry. So guys, let me know if she's still there. If she's not...
I'm here,
oh,
I'm back.
Beautiful.
I'm back.
So, Ida, did you hear my question?
Just the investment in hotel industry. I heard the last part of the question. So your question was about our investments in the hotel industry?
Yes, please. How did that, what's happening out there? Are you like doing big movements, or are you just sitting and waiting?
So we sit and wait because we think that the business will bounce back. But what we also expect is that the business will not bounce back in the bad things that have been in the business. So I think there will be more view on, how tourism is kind of developing. So where do you have the hotels? So it's really kind of more a quality tourism, also quality, quality guests. You want that the tourists not only take something from the area they come to, that they also bring something. So, and be it just respecting the venue they are visiting. So, yes, hotels is a risk, but at the end it is a real estate business, and if you have your real estate and the right, let me say, geography, then it will bounce back. Only the real estate you kind of have invested in, let me say, in the tier 2, 3, or 4 geographies. They might suffer, and some of them might go. And what really taught us with hotels and the COVID situation was, really mundane things, how you manage your real estate, make sure that the operator goes to the hotel every day and flushes every toilet. It was important, that you really said, okay, you close the hotel, but, somebody needs to open at least once a week the windows, that all showers need to run at least once a week, and all toilets need to be flushed at least once a week, so that the things are kind of, the infrastructure doesn't suffer. So, and this was something which was important to us, because some operators just closed down, shut the door, and then came back a year later, and there could be some very bad surprises. So for us, it was kind of a learning experience that we really kind of took care and really asked whoever is managing us, are you taking care of our real estate, also in COVID terms, and how do you take care of that? And this was for us important. And also the conversation with the operators was important in that regard, because some of them really kind of actually planned to shut the hotel and close the windows and and go, send everybody home. So this was not an option for us.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Ida, for your input. Love the directness of your approach, and thank you so much, Valerie. We've seen today two amazing women. I hope you will reach out to them later as well. Valerie is the lady to speak about sustainability and the blue energy. Ida, you'll find her on LinkedIn. Very interesting and very well-connected lady that can give you some insights on investments and especially diversity in your investment portfolio. This was it from my side. If you have any questions, do we have for questions? If not, we will move to another panel. Yes. We move to another panel. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.